CERN has become one of the most mysterious scientific organizations on Earth. People say that they're opening portals, potentially changing reality, opening glitches in the simulation. So let's go right down this rabbit hole. And don't forget, if you like this kind of content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so it hits the algorithm and other people start to wake up in the matrix. Welcome everyone to the Simulation Frequency. On today's episode, we're going to go down the CERN rabbit hole and check out some videos discussing different theories and ideas that have been cropping up. And now that they have shut CERN down for the time being, it's a great time to jump in and look back on all the strange things that have happened. Do you think anything that has occurred with CERN has done anything to our timelines? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really interested to see what everybody thinks about this. So without further ado, let's jump right into these videos.
Top 3 of the strangest thing that's happened since CERN stopped the Hadron Collider. Is this a Mandela effect? Is this odd? Is it connected? Here are the top 3 strangest things on the internet that's happened since last month when CERN shut off the Hadron Collider. Number 3, the 1990 movie Valley Girl. Minute 3:06 in the movie, somebody captured this clip. Here is a clip from the movie where you zoom in and you see Chick-fil-A, but is there a K? If you look at this footage right there, there is no K. I don't care what you say. There is no K in Chick-fil-A in this movie. Now you can say they did that because of copyright. Yes, they could have, but Valley Girl was not a high-budget movie. Do you think that they had the money to change a sign that quick? Number 2 comes from this 2006 animated movie. Right here, you see a picture of underwear, and what do they have? Fruit of the Loom logo with the cornucopia.
The Fruit of the Loom one is a standard one that has messed me up myself. It trips me out because I don't remember it being that way. That first one, it looks like somebody has already debunked it and saying that there was a guy doing electrical work and the K was out. That's why that happened.
Somebody recorded this and it is strange. Either they're playing in our faces, they're in on the joke, or
something's going on with that Fruit of the Loom.
They're just putting in Mandela effects in the animated movie in 2006. Number 1, the weirdest thing on the internet right now is Sobe. Yes, you remember the energy drink Sobe in the 90s? So I remember it too. They got discontinued early 2000, but apparently they're back. Apparently they're in stores. Apparently you can order it.
Okay, so that happens all the time too. That happened to me with something, but I know it's because they never went out of business, so to speak. I just think that they cut back on their US supply, but I used to love Clearly Canadian when I was growing up. I don't drink it anymore because it is full of sugar, and I recently saw that they came out with them in the supermarkets and came out with sugar-free versions, which I was like, psh, we're definitely living in a simulation if my favorite childhood drink that I should not have been drinking, but back in the day, we weren't as savvy as we are now about sugar, that now it has come out and I can get it sugar-free. Not that, it doesn't have probably all kind of chemicals. I personally do like stevia as a natural alternative to sugar, so I try to drink things that if they're going to be sweetened at all, they're sweetened with that, but I'm not gonna lie, I think it's really cool when something from the childhood comes back. It sparks that whole thing that the Matrix loves to get you with is nostalgia. One of the easiest ways to sell somebody in the simulation. Let's get into one that looks a little bit more technical because that one was some just crazy timeline glitches. This guy here looks like he might talk about something more scientific in nature.
June 29th, 2026, CERN shut down its particle collider. Now imagine, just for a moment, that this theory is true. Imagine that every time the machine goes dark, reality resets. And somewhere in that reset, some of us don't make it back to the universe we came from. Picture it.
What?
June 29th, the collider powers down. The hum of the machines stops. For a split second, millions of nearly identical realities.
The thing is I don't personally believe you would know. I believe in the whole theory of quantum immortality. We'll do a whole video separately on that. But for this specific thing, if we switch timelines, it could have been where you did something so minor, but you didn't realize it. And that was the switch of the timeline. And we would have no real idea because there could be technically an infinity amount of timelines, the way I see it.
Begin separating from one another. And when they do, you wake up here. Everything looks normal. Your house, the same. Your family, the same. Your memories are the same. Except something feels off. A movie quote isn't the way you remember it. A logo looks wrong. You remember a conversation that everyone else insists never happened. You try to explain it. Nobody believes you. Because in this universe, they've always remembered it this way. Only you remember something different.
Because you were in a different reality, and then you cross over to a new timeline or reality, and you have those specific memories lingering. I feel like once we recycle from the simulation, your memory is wiped, and we do have certain memories that linger that feel like deja vu. I'll do a whole video on deja vu too, but think about it. When you're dreaming at night and you wake up, you have a memory wipe and you don't remember most of the things. Some people, they practice this. I've practiced this, and you can start to dream recall, and you can start to remember all your dreams, and you can start to become lucid in your dreams. But that doesn't mean that you're always going to then remember everything from those things. You probably have had thousands of dreams and you remember none of them. So what would be the difference between that and other lives?
Unless you started noticing the little things. So tell me, since June 29th, have you noticed anything that feels different? Anything at all? Or are you exactly where you were before CERN went dark?
TBH, that's such a fun question because I've been changing so much the past year, and it feels like with every new day I'm falling into a newer identity, a newer person, a different avatar, if you will, learning, growing, understanding, more awareness, if you will. I definitely think that, I don't know if it has to do with CERN, but I feel like I have been seeing things much more clearly recently. My filter is lifting.
In a quiet boiler room in Nevada, a 13-year-old boy named Max Logan began dismantling the foundations of modern physics. While the world watched the Large Hadron Collider in Geneva, Logan proposed a chilling alternative. The machine hadn't just found a particle, it had fractured our timeline. As his theories surfaced on platforms like the Joe Rogan Experience, a global audience began to wonder if our reality was truly original. Did a child prodigy actually discover that CERN...
I remember this kid back in the day and him talking about all the things, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy to see a kid
infinity down the line from our original timeline, where here's ours. And of course, this timeline is only moving forward because, well, the expansion of infinite number of realities behind it. But what happened was we made this universe sort of out of balance. And our universe...
Because of the collider, the super collider?
Yeah, we altered the weight of a single electron, which I believe shifted us into a parallel universe, considering
That's amazing.
We caused a chain reaction that could have catastrophically destroyed our universe. I mean, even when we thought about starting it, we thought our universe would implode, and then it didn't, and we're like, oh, it's okay. Well,
it's okay.
Maybe it did implode. We just instantly got shifted to another universe.
He argued that the high-energy particle collisions occurring within the 17-mile ring were doing more than simply recreating the conditions of the Big Bang. According to Max, these experiments were fundamentally unstable relative to the survival of a single timeline. He proposed that the LHC had achieved such a concentrated burst of power that it actually destroyed our original universe. In this view, the reality we currently inhabit is not the one we were born into. Instead, Max suggested that we are living in the next best thing, a parallel dimension so similar to our own that the transition was almost imperceptible. He explained that when a universe is destroyed, consciousness naturally slides into the nearest available frequency, much like a radio seeking a clear signal.
Yeah, so it's just God's consciousness streaming into all kinds of frequencies, and everything has a frequency. So I love what this is saying. That's very on point.
This concept suggested that the world as we knew it ended in 2012, or perhaps during the ramp-up of the second run in 2015. And
I don't know if I believe any of that.
We are now merely guests in a surrogate world.
For all that, these are all surrogate worlds. We would never know. For me, the simulation is just a branch of reality that has been expressed, and they just keep expressing. The simulation can continuously express over and over again. In my mind, if there's an infinite number of experiences to be had, there would be an infinite number of timelines that would generate to continuously make sure those experiences continue to happen, so that every instance of consciousness that would like to be expressed is expressed in whichever way, whichever timeline, whichever avatar, whichever whatever it is expressed through there. So if anything, CERN could be messing with some of that, but I don't think it's going to stop anything, and I don't think it would throw it so far off. I think CERN is just another expression of consciousness trying to discover some new cool things.
The shadow government is trying to alter your perception of reality again, and before you come in my comments calling me a conspiracy theorist and everything, just hear me out for once. Whoops. Hear me out. They have shut down CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, the thing that made like reality bend to its will and like give us all these.
And just to break into the middle of the episode here to really discuss what CERN is, I turned to chat to explain what CERN is in a understandable way. So it says CERN is one of the most misunderstood scientific organizations in the world. Its full name is Conseil Européen pour la Recherche Nucléaire, or the European Organization for Nuclear Research. Please don't roast me on that. That was the first time I've ever read that out loud. It sits on the border between Switzerland and France near Geneva. Its mission is surprisingly simple: to understand what the universe is made of and how it works at the smallest possible scales. Think of it this way. If NASA explores our outer space, CERN explores inner space. NASA looks outward into the cosmos, CERN looks inward into the building blocks of reality. So what do they actually do? Everything around you is made of atoms. Atoms are made of electrons, protons, and neutrons. Protons and neutrons are made of even smaller particles called quarks. Physicists want to know, why do these particles have mass? Why do they behave the way they do? What existed just after the Big Bang? And are there particles that we haven't discovered yet? To answer these questions, they accelerate particles to nearly the speed of light and smash them together. The Large Hadron Collider. CERN's most famous machine is the Large Hadron Collider, the LHC. It is about 17 miles in circumference, buried roughly 330 feet underground. It's the largest and most powerful particle accelerator ever built. Imagine a giant circular racetrack. Instead of race cars, tiny particles race around in the opposite directions at 99.99999 the speed of light, and then they're intentionally collided. But why smash the particles together? Imagine you have an antique watch. You can study it from the outside forever, or you could carefully take it apart to understand how every gear works. Particle collisions are a bit like that. The collisions briefly recreate the incredibly high energies that existed just after the Big Bang. Scientists then study the particles that emerged to better understand the laws of nature. So what has CERN discovered? Their biggest achievement came in 2012 with the discovery of the Higgs boson. People often call it the God particle, although many physicists dislike that nickname because it can be misleading. The Higgs boson confirmed the existence of the Higgs field, which helps explain why many fundamental particles have mass. It was one of the biggest discoveries in modern physics. So why is CERN surrounded by so many theories? It's doing things that sound extraordinary. People hear phrases like recreating the Big Bang, highest energies ever produced in a laboratory, quantum physics, dark matter, extra dimensions. These phrases, of course, spark curiosity and speculation. So over the years, people have claimed CERN has been opening portals, creating black holes, causing Mandela, tearing holes in reality, and connected it to biblical prophecy. To date, there's no credible scientific evidence supporting those claims. Those experiments are reviewed by thousands of scientists from around the world, and the energies involved, while enormous by laboratory standards, they're actually far lower than the particle collisions produced naturally when high-energy cosmic rays strike Earth's atmosphere. So that's crazy stuff. I hope after that explanation, everybody really understands what CERN is, what they're doing there, what the intentions are, and let's jump back into what she was about to say.
Mandela effects, and if you don't know what a Mandela effect is, well, it's where, you recall things being a certain way, but they're not that way anymore. For example, Fruit Loops aren't spelled right anymore. How about Curious George? Never had a tail. Never. No. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Where I come from, he did. Chick-fil-A is spelled with a K now, used to not. That was the whole point in Chick-fil-A's spelling. Like, they made signs, road signs that were spelled wrong because it was a play on the fact that Chick-fil-A was spelled wrong. Whatever. Anyways, the whole point is they shut down CERN, okay? And CERN is what we think may have caused all these Mandela effects. They're not opening that thing back up until 2030, and even by then, they might have a new one in play. Okay, so here's my question. Everybody started waking up in the past couple of years when they turned that thing back on, right? Since 2020? What if they turned it off in a last-ditch attempt to keep us all from waking up and realizing all the corruption that goes on in our world every day? People are waking up left and right. It's never been like this. The sun is changing us.
I get it. I completely understand these theories. Somebody said, there are 6 other large superconductors, including another one at CERN, that are still working. One of them is on Long Island. There are also 30,000 small linear accelerators around the world. I don't know if I knew that. I would have to fact check that, but I would not be shocked that that's the case. People are probably having their own versions of them in different labs, and we just don't really know or understand what's going on.
Just in case you're not in the know, these are the things that people have been reporting since CERN went offline last week. I want to know what you've been seeing and noticing over the past week, but people have been saying that the fireflies are back. They've been gone for a long time. Oh. And the rain, they're actually able to smell the rain. Birds chirping. Now, I've heard birds chirping, but they tend to chirp a little differently now. Clouds, the clouds are actually natural and puffy, and there was people actually posting pictures of it all over TikTok of where these clouds came from. People are reporting that their sleep, all they want to do is sleep now. They're super tired. Now, this last one is boggling my mind of how this happened, but people are reporting exes. Exes are coming back into people's lives.
That's really strange. I don't know if I agree with any of that. Maybe the sleeping thing, I don't know. But somebody said the only thing I've really noticed is time is going very slow. So that's what I'm talking about with people's perception of reality and how they interpret the simulation. Because a lot of people would say the opposite, that they feel like time is going very quickly, that they've lost time, that time is not as what it used to be, quote unquote. In my opinion, time is a program in the simulation. It does not exist. It's a man-made feature. While we experience entropy, it is just the recycling nature of the simulation, and there is no such thing as time. But we can do a whole episode on that.
Did CERN cause a timeline shift? We're going to find out. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. These are not my opinions. And Spirit, are you willing to answer some questions about CERN and a timeline shift? Okay. First question I have is, are there an infinite number of parallel universes?
So I guess this is one of those individuals that does the sticks. I purchased a pair of those copper sticks. I do think they're cool. I've never really played with them too much. I wanted to for fun, just to see what would happen. But let's see what she has to say with this.
In 2012, did CERN's particle accelerator cause a tear in our reality? Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Please set. So was that universe destroyed? Yeah.
saying that universe was destroyed. I don't know if I necessarily always believe that, because I do believe in copy of copy of copy, and even if it was destroyed, the consciousness moves into the copy, so it's almost like there's no difference, simulation and simulacra type of thing going on. Somebody said, question, is the simulation controlled by extraterrestrials or future humans? Terrestrials could be future humans. So, I mean, I know a lot of people, we can go down that rabbit hole as well at some point, all the different species of folks, of individuals, of consciousnesses that are discussed in the simulation, like all the alien types, etc., etc. Somebody said, I don't like this timeline. I'm struggling too much. And I understand that. My cousin lives in Switzerland and works at CERN. She's a PhD. I always want to ask her so many questions, but I feel she'll think I'm a lunatic. I would definitely be asking. Somebody said, can you please ask if our dreams are actual reality and this life we remember living right now is like an avatar, like the movie Avatar? Does that make sense? Well, I think it's all dreams. It's a dream within a dream. It's a simulated dream, so to speak. It's God's mind dreaming infinity, and through that process, that's how the sim is created. It allows the infinity dream to persist in all kinds of different states. In the Earth realm, who knows how many other simulations or other realities that look nothing like ours exist.
CERN had to be turned off because it was disrupting the programming of these AI data centers. And think about the Mandela effect. If CERN was turned on and its magnetic field reaches and it was merging universe and galaxies and all that shit there, dimensions, and it can change what we see and what our memories, what we know, and all that stuff there with the electrical patterns in the brain. And because they took cholesterol out of our diet, now our brain don't have nothing to feed on. I'm educating you here now. Cholesterol, not margarine, not butter, cholesterol. They took it out of our diet because we don't do.
I am an advocate for eating eggs. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, but I think eggs, I'm trying to eat like at least one egg a day. Dr. Berg, I like him. He talks about the benefits of that.
With lard, fat, we don't render shit with like bacon fat, tallow. We don't do that too much. We go get country crock. So they took cholesterol out of the diet.
I don't use country crock. I do use fats. I don't use anything fake in that area.
Which made our brain starve. Then they pumped us full of all these antibiotics and shit.
And you have to be careful. You have to make sure that you're supplementing all this stuff too. Like, for example, I've been supplementing things lately for my brain health if I don't feel like I'm getting enough from the things that I'm consuming. And I even take other supplements extra because sometimes it can be difficult to get enough. I'm supplementing things like iron and vitamin C and certain vitamin Bs because I'm not sure if I'm getting all the proper nutrients for my brain and gut health.
That really didn't do it damn good. Because now you got Alzheimer's. I'm from the South. On a high rampant thing, feed them people some fucking cholesterol. Maybe that'll help, get the brain back going right.
There's multiple things that are coming out that are suggesting that people can reduce their Alzheimer's and dementia by doing certain things. What he's talking about, I'm not sure. I think that might be one of them. It's not letting your brain become degraded. It's not letting your brain not have the proper nutrients and fats and things, proteins to build it consistently, and then not testing it over and over again. Simulation is in a constant state of novelty and repetition and trying to find new things. So if you do that to your brain will continue to grow in elasticity. It won't degrade the same way if you're not paying attention to what you're feeding it, if you're not paying attention. And when I say feeding it, that means from every aspect. Are you testing yourself? Are you researching things? Are you exercising? Because I think high intensity is really good for brain health. It's doing all the things for your brain health and making sure you're researching them and doing the things. And I really truly believe you can offset these things or maybe eliminate them in their entirety. I don't know.
The brain what it needs: cholesterol. Okay.
It's not just cholesterol. There's multiple things at play here. The simulation is a system, and it's a game, like I like to say, and every component of it can be looked at as a game. Brain health can be a game. Can you hack the game of brain health? Can you hack the avatar to make sure your avatar is always staying up to date with the latest and greatest in software programming, which would be the things that you consume and things of this nature. But taking the supplements to allow you to be able to focus for long periods of time. Because I think one of the things with the Alzheimer's and dementia and the brain, losing the ability to focus for long periods of time. You can't sit and do one thing and research and study or listen or just sit in place and be absorbing information and processing and then using it quickly after. So if you're not consistently doing this, your brain health, I think, does start to dissipate.
I was on the rise. So now you got the Mandela effect, because we can't remember, or we are misremembering what CERN, when they turned on the Hadron Collider, what CERN did, merging two universes together as one. So now that in a whole nother universe, a whole nother galaxy, that is spelled that way. That is that color. That is this and that.
Yeah.
But we're misremembering, some of us, because of the content in our brain. Some of us still got cholesterol, some of us don't. Now,
I don't know if I don't think the whole cholesterol thing, while I understand what he's saying, we do need that, but we also need certain proteins and we also need other supplements besides that.
Brain is nothing but a bunch of synapses, impulses, synapses. Copper is the main thing inside the brain that heals. Silver comes next. Then you got chromium, all that stuff.
I do have liquid silver that I take from time to time. I've not ever taken any copper. I've thought about it. I know that if you have copper in your water, it's supposed to be good for you or something of this nature, but I don't take a ton of copper. I should look into it.
Up what the brain fires into what they call the gray matter type shit, right? So if you got a giant magnet that's influencing our mind, the Hadron Collider, making us misremember, merging galaxies, and now you got these AI data centers that's really focusing on our intellect, and you got all the elite trying to upload themselves to these AI data centers. Fuck, that's why they turned CERN off. They turned CERN off so they can get these AI data centers programmed. And once they get programmed, they could turn CERN back on.
Or was he trying to say that people are uploading their consciousness to the data centers?
So they can bring in the demons.
That'd be interesting to look down.
AI technology bots and sensors, and they're going to bring in these demons that's going to be puppeteering.
I understand multiple people believe that there's situations going on where they could be potentially opening up portals or bringing in demons or something of this nature.
Well, anyways, I love that our girl Candace Owens is talking about the Mandela effect, but I gotta correct some things, because Candace shared a man's video explaining the Mandela effect, and he was wrong, thinking that Mandela effect started after Y2K in the year 2000. It didn't even start, nor was it even coined a term until 2013. Why do I know this? Well, because if you know me, I'm the queen of Mandela effects. I'm mildly obsessed with Mandela effects, and mad face, they piss me off. I will never forget the taste of my juice.
I mean, to be honest with you, Mandela effects probably have been going on since forever. It's just that due to the rise of social media, we have not been able to articulate it the way that we have been able to now. Realities probably have been doing this forever. We just were not aware of it. We're just now realizing it. We're now starting to understand it. So Mandela effects are probably, in my opinion, going to go on forever due to the nature of the simulation. Mandela effects and glitches prove that it's a simulation. The Mandela effects will never stop because the simulation is constantly changing.
The only non-European country as an active board member of CERN. Even the United States itself is just, they've got observatory rights. They just observe. They're not on the board, just like so many other countries. But Israel is on the actual board of CERN. I wonder if Candace Owens knows this.
So this is, somebody says, so Candace was right. And this individual says, Colette says, she's right about Project Looking Glass. She's right about the GATE program. There's much more. I can teach her about the GATE program, but when it came to Mandela effect, the video of the man who was speaking about it was incorrect. The Mandela effect had nothing to do with Y2K, but everything to do with CERN when they fired up the LCD in 2012. The Mandela effect started in 2013. I don't believe that. I think Mandela's probably been going on since forever and ever. We just, as the human species, decided to coin it that. The simulation is constantly changing. So I'm going to end that video there. Let me know if there's any other rabbit holes you would like me to go down. I'll be going down much more. I have so many more ideas and different things that I want to check out with you in the simulation. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until the next time, guys, remember to stay curious and keep following the White Rabbit. Bye, guys.